Earlier this week, I released the video that I'd actually recorded, I think in like September or October or something like that, about the potential issues with GTA 6, okay? The people working on this stuff, for one, okay? The big red flag that I noticed when I was doing my research into this stuff is, oh boy, there's a lot of lazy people working on this project. Not for nothing, given the fact that GTA 5 came out in 2013, so it's going to be at least 12 years between releases, which is unfathomable if you would just go ahead and cast your mind back to the place that GTA was at, back in the, was that 6th generation with a PS2, where we had 3 proper GTA games, arguably their best output, because I'll be completely honest, man. I liked 5 well enough. It's been, probably 10 years since I played the game. Whenever the PC port finally came out, I checked it out for like a handful of hours, and it's like, I want to play through the story again. I want to have mods on it and all of that stuff, but I just couldn't be asked, bro. Like, if I'm going to play another Rockstar game, it's definitely going to be Red Dead Redemption 2, which, yeah, honestly, I have a PS4 and on PC. It's just, I don't know, those, like, big open world games don't really do that much for me. Like, I like a focused story with a bunch of side content, but you need to have really compelling characters, which I hear Red Dead Redemption 2 does have. So, yeah, I'm likely to give that another shot. But GTA 5... I thought it was fine. Obviously, it's the biggest piece of entertainment. Biggest piece of entertainment. It's the single largest piece, most profitable piece of media in history. Okay, it's made more money than the Vatican at this point in time. So yeah, this video, to just, give you a TLDR on it, like, it's the GTA 6 is not going to flop because of woke. That's just not going to happen, okay? It's obviously, is very likely going to supplant GTA 5 for having the biggest launch in history when it eventually does come out at the end of 2025. Who knows? We've gone past the 1-year anniversary of its announcement, confirmation trailer, teaser trailer, whatever the hell we're going with. Who knows? Maybe Jeff Keighley's cooking up something in the background, but Rockstar and GTA 6 is bigger than the Game Awards, so they don't necessarily need that platform to get their message out there. So I would imagine in the very near future, we're very likely to see maybe a proper trailer, maybe a story-based trailer. I'd very much like to see actual gameplay, because the cinematics don't really do that much for me outside of maybe vaguely outlining what the story could be. And what we've heard before is Dan Houser, one of the founders and one of the influential names behind the original GTA message, get a treatment for the game, and he wanted to tell a Bonnie and Clyde type story. And it's like, sure, man, that's based as hell. But then you start to look at the people working on the game, and they aren't the ones that created the PS2 games, okay? They aren't the ones who created the GTA 5 or the game that really kind of made me check out a GTA, and that's GTA 4. I still think that game is ass. Perhaps the DLCs, Ballad of Gay Tony, and I forget what the biker expansion was named. That escapes me. It's been a minute, but I didn't go around. I didn't play that stuff because I was just so checked out. Like, the gameplay sucked. I didn't like Nico as a protagonist. It's not a meme. It still bugs me to this day how often you would just get bothered by everybody on the cell phones, even with a bunch of Opie and Anthony characters and cast members in the radio station, Laszlo, offering arguably the worst soundtrack to date. Like, GTA 5 soundtrack was fantastic. Vice Cities was easily the best. And San Andreas, I mean, it's a close second. But I don't know, man. Maybe I'm out on an island on this one talking about Grand Theft Auto, but going back and doing a period piece, like, that could be fun. Okay, Vice City in the 80s, Tommy Vercetti, Ray Liotta. Like, bro, that was it. That was the first GTA that I remember playing. I might have played 3 before, but definitely the one that I sank the most time into, well, was probably San Andreas. But Vice City, man, I could probably still go back right now and play that game. It's tremendous. For those little drone missions, God, those sucked. But yo, I'm not like a bunch of other people that are out there who have been memeing this game into existence. I don't spend hundreds of hours on GTA Online. I think I played like 45 minutes of it, and it's like, yeah, it's not for me. Created my character, you got out into the world, and it's like, it's whatever. So no, my otherwise apathetic stance on GTA 6 isn't emblematic of the wider world, okay? This thing is going to be huge. I'm just saying, this could have knock-on effects moving forward. And you could be very much disappointed by the story that you're getting, because I am already skeptical about the quality based on the lazy staff and the lazy teams working on this stuff causing a fuss for not wanting to go back and working in the office on the biggest and most anticipated video game of all time, not wanting to have everybody under one roof. That's an issue. And then, yeah, you start to dig into this and oh boy, it is festooned with all of the other hallmarks that have driven down other great studios like Ubisoft, like Blizzard, like Activision. Yeah. Correlation does not equal causation, but at this point in time, bro, pattern recognition is so strong. If you're doing a little bit of eye rolling when you start to see DEI pop up, you're not alone. So is GTA 6 woke? I don't know. DEI employee certifications highlight the quiet shift threatening Rockstar. GTA 6 woke. Certain changes are giving gamers anxiety regarding the future of the long-running franchise. Is there any other video game in the world more anticipated than Grand Theft Auto 6? No, never. Okay, like in the grander scale, or in the grand scheme of things, ever. No, like it's the most anticipated game. It's the game to reference for upcoming games and people excited for it. It's it. And yeah, I remember going over the trailer. This time last year, and it's like, female protagonist, and people were already going, oh, the game's woke, you get another girl boss. It's like, there's an interesting story that you could tell, and hopefully, like, if this is the Rockstar of old, there'd be a hell of a good story there to play, okay? Somebody having to find their way across the border, doing some less than heroic things to get here. That's a ballsy story, and hopefully they tell it instead of just, a dude with boobs. It's like, hopefully they do it. You see, the more you see, the more you're like, you're really gonna have to prove me wrong on this one. GTA 5 was released in 2013, yep, and sold like hotcakes. Oh, I'm sorry, like hot coffee on a cold winter day at the North Pole. It's no surprise then that everyone and their mother is eagerly awaiting GTA 6. Yeah, like I'll probably pick it up eventually, but there's also rumors of this thing being, setting the new standard for what, games are going to be priced at. And there's no doubt that this is going to be a content-rich game overflowing with things to do. It's it when it comes to the Western gaming industry. If this thing doesn't break records, which is it's going to take a miracle for it not to break records, okay? This could spell the end of the Western gaming industry, because after GTA 6, what is there? Exactly. It's been a long wait, yes, 12 years and counting. We still don't have the game in our hands. However, in 2023, Rockstar released the first GTA 6 trailer, and it was nothing short of stunning. It was fine. It was, again, just a bunch of cinematics, a bunch of references to modern day. Oh, look at what we're going to be doing here. We're going to be taking a look at modern day Miami, calling it Vice City. Hey, guys, we get to return to Vice City for the first time in, 20 years. It's going to be great. And it's like, yeah, it all looks good. It all looks authentic. It's just, I already kind of did this with 5. Now you're just going to be doing it again with 6. It's like, okay. Yet, as quickly as the excitement for the trailer spreads, concerns began to surface. One of the most notable shifts in GTA 6 is that it will introduce the series' first female protagonist. And like I said, man, there are interesting stories to tell. Hopefully they take that path. While every previous entry featured a male protagonist, GTA 6 will include both a male and female lead. And yeah, if the next trailer really highlights, Pedro, Juan, whatever his name is, highlights his part in the story where he's not riding bitch, that would be cool. I would really, really like to see that. So perhaps this is a dual protagonist situation, not, boss bitch and cuck. I hope that's not the case, but we'll see. This dual protagonist setup, however, has not fully elevated the skepticism that some fans feel about the game. To be clear, criticizing the game solely on its inclusion of a female protagonist isn't a valid argument. Yeah, exactly. Rockstar has a stellar track record of delivering exceptional stories and well-written characters. Exactly, and that's the benefit of the doubt that I'm willing to give this one, and then also Ghost of Yotei. But my concerns when it comes to Sucker Punch and what they could potentially do with the follow-up of Ghost of Tsushima is also couched in the criticism that I could potentially have for GTA 6 moving forward, because the people that made the former aren't making the latter. From Arthur Morgan, Red Dead Redemption 2, the chaotic yet compelling trio of Trevor, Michael, and Franklin. I actually forgot. Like, I remember Michael. Michael's story is great in 5, and Trevor, it's like he's the standout character, but he was never really my favorite. But I forgot Franklin. who is, I guess, supposed to be the protagonist of GTA 5, but whatever. Now, Rockstar has consistently excelled at crafting characters that resonate with players. If the only concern is the inclusion of a female lead, that alone should not warrant criticism. Yes, exactly, because other things are shit that have females first, like Ubisoft and Star Wars Outlaws, doesn't necessarily translate to a totally different studio. But yes, as I pointed out earlier, Dan Houser, Rockstar co-founder and writer, back in 2011 or 2012, I was asked about that, but in 2020, right before he left, Houser had completed or was close to completing a treatment for GTA 6. Reportedly, yes, the game was to draw inspiration from Bonnie and Clyde style story, influenced by Warren Beatty's Bonnie and Clyde and Tony Scott's True Romance. Yeah, exactly. That could be good. I don't know if anything specifically, but nothing of this budget would have ever been done to encapsulate that sort of story archetype. So yeah, could be great. And set in GTA, game that's going to have all of the budget, all of the resources available, hell of a good story. But let's move forward a little bit, because this is quite an extensive article that I'd link to. Shout out to That Park Place for putting together such a comprehensive list of examples as to why being skeptical of GTA 6 isn't necessarily unfounded, but the important part. One notable example of Rockstar shift came in 2022 when they censored content from GTA 5 Expanded and Enhanced Edition. This updated version of the game removed elements that allegedly maligned individuals who identify with a gender that differs from their anatomy. Really, dialogues perceived mocking towards the rainbow community also edited out, on top of a certain caricatured NPCs and in-game props being removed and signage referencing drag performers. Interesting. Yeah, it's been a minute since I've played the game, like I said before. Dan Houser, yes, leaving in 2020, making this the first Grand Theft Auto game without his inclusion. And then, yes, the certifications. Dun, dun, dun. Quite a few alarming factors are to play for anyone wondering, is GTA 6 woke? Yet, the gravest and perhaps most damaging revelation about Rockstar isn't found in the content edits or the departure of senior staff, but in what can be uncovered about those who now work there. Troubling pattern emerges when examining the certifications held by Rockstar employees, particularly among senior members. At least 60 employees have completed a course called Unconscious Bias, with many of these certifications being awarded between 2020 and 2021, the same period which Dan Houser left the company. Interesting. So what's the course? Unconscious Bias certification, as described on platforms like LinkedIn Learning, aims to teach participants to recognize and address unconscious prejudices they may hold, while its stated goal is to foster inclusivity and fairness in workplaces. The course has been widely criticized for its potentially divisive nature. The training focuses heavily on racial and gender dynamics, framing biases as something that predominantly privileged groups such as white employees need to address. This can create an environment where some individuals feel unfairly singled out based solely on their identity. So yeah, 60 managers, I'll cut to the chase on that one, have completed the training. 60 associated members, Unconscious Bias, okay, across a multitude of different studios, all of which are working on GTA 6. Okay, it's like not exactly the smoking gun, but it's very much fingerprints at the scene of the crime. Okay, but as people are now starting to look a little bit deeper. Okay, they're starting to do the whole peepo magnifying glass. Starting to analyze the game a little bit further. Okay, there's going to be some people just initially turned off and hoping to find an alternative, which is exactly what's being offered over here with Ananta. Okay, because this is one where it's like, holy crap, man, like I'm actually interested by something for the first time in a long time when it comes to, well, actually, taking a look at all this stuff with, like goofy anime stuff, and the fact that this is like a 1-to-1 comparison with GTA 6. It's kind of crazy, but there's actually a lot of other gameplay elements to this that I think is very interesting, and especially when it comes to open world gameplay, the fact that you get to do so much, and it's the stuff that I love in just big goofy sandbox games. I mean, you definitely have me interested in the project that you have right there. And yeah, I'm going to a beach. Very interesting. And oh my god, like a proper volleyball game for the first time in a long time, playing poker, combat basketball and stuff like that. Like it's all just very much it is looking to be very much every single aspect that you would want from a traditional video game. Just the absurdity on display, the characters, the stylization. I mean, it's kind of exactly what I'm looking for. And people have done the scene comparison, you know, with GTA 6, just looking at the landscape. Okay, people driving in cars on a freeway next to the ocean. Okay, you got your beach landscapes, and I know exactly which one I would be not just more comfortable, but more amenable towards going towards. You know, your faux Instagram captures, and then of course, you know, your faux TikTok live streams. And it's like, we know exactly what you're doing. And when it comes to looking at DEI censorship or putting anything first and foremost that you could go ahead and, you know, compare and look at, and it's like, normally when you'd go to a studio or a studio page, okay, what's right up there at the top? Okay, normally, okay, you got your commitment, our vision, our purpose, and it's a whole bunch of social justice values that's right there. But when it comes to Ananta, and I think Naked Rain is the studio, what do you have on your what do you have on your game's website? Well, you know, pre-registration numbers, total of global pre-registration numbers, 6.35 million. Am I reading that right? Yeah, that's kind of crazy for a game that I literally just heard about. And you can take a look at the characters, right? Like, obviously, there's some concern when it comes to GTA 6. Oh, you got a woman character. And it's like, well, guess what? Ananta has a bunch of different chicks, and well, can we play a fun game of spot the difference? I mean, like, you take a look at this stuff, and oh my god, this game, it must also be woke, because you get to play as a bunch of women. And I'm kind of partial to Dilla right there, because I'll be completely honest, you know, two out of the 5 have the goofy ass, you know, like either tails or goofy cat ears. But, you know, even the dude, for as much as you can get like a masculine anime guy, he does look the part. But when you compare and contrast that to, you know, GTA 6's beaches, and then you can also compare and contrast that to, well, GTA's protagonist, I think the Chinese kind of have you beat this time around. So yeah, man, I'm saying, you know, hey, Anata's looking pretty fine. I'm gonna be completely honest, man. Like, there was some stuff. Okay, going back to the trailer here real quick. Okay, not the comparison, but into the trailer, I seen some stuff of, you know, just really interesting looking combat. Okay, but then you can also have, like, this guy's out here, okay, like they're doing Spider-Man web slinging stuff throughout this big open world. It looks absolutely insane. And the fact that it's also going to be free to play, like, this thing's going to make a lot of money, especially with 6.3 million signups. But guys, that just shows you there's a market for open world games. There's a market to just launch brand new IPs. You don't have to take over a decade, god damn it, 12 years to come out and make a splash. I know GTA 6 is going to be huge. I'm not saying that the Chinese game, I'm not saying that 60 woke managers is going to make an ultimate difference on that. I'm just saying, if you got big expectations that GTA is going to be that shot in the arm to right the culture, like the series was back in the cut during my time of peak investment, when there was satire going on across the board. Everybody was getting lampooned from the time of, you know, GTA 3 through San Andreas. I'm just saying, couch your expectations, because I don't think that's what we're getting, and hopefully that's the worst of what we ultimately end up getting. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.